It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. This is it. We've waited all year. We started with 40 elementary schools. We're down to the final 2. One of these 2 schools is going to be the new county champion for 2018-19. Let's meet our 2 finalists. First, from Glenarden Woods Elementary School, would you please say hello to William Nzive, Malachi Hammond, and Mercy Balapo. And from Greenbelt Elementary, say hello to Kai Waters, HYRUM Hudson, and Eleanor Calarco. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's science potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty. Easier questions on the left, 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones, 15, 20, ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points, never any penalties for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, we will have a new county champion. Let's go over and make sure that everything is working properly. The red team, Malachi, would you try that buzzer? Looks and sounds good. Good luck to William and to Malachi and to Mercy. And how about HYRUM? You are green shirts and you're the green team this time. Give it a buzz. All right, it too seems to work fine. Good luck to you, to Eleanor and to Kai. Are we ready, guys? Yes. Let's do it. Congratulations. Very few schools make it to this point. This is like the Super Bowl. Good luck, guys. GL before GR, so GL Glenarden, let's play the bowl.
Green things for 20.
Great things for 20 points. Teams, hummus, H-U-M-M-U-S, is ground up chickpeas. It's very good to eat. But this homonym, near homonym, is decaying vegetable matter and leaves Glenarden Woods.
Fungus?
Not fungus. Greenbelt, hummus is a good protein-rich food. But this near homonym is dead vegetable matter that makes for very rich soil.
Humus.
Humus, that's exactly right. H-U-M-U-S. Good. Go green.
Body systems for 15 points.
For 15 points, teams, Alex Trebek, who hosts Jeopardy, recently announced that he had stage 4 cancer that is afflicting this organ that we normally associate, Glenarden Woods.
Brain?
Not the brain. Greenbelt, this organ normally associated with the production of insulin is now what Alex Trebek has cancer developing in.
Liver.
No, the pancreas. The pancreas is the right answer. Go again, green.
Okay. Let's get physical for 15 points.
For 15 points. Teams, you know, the television ad says that V8 juice has more of this nutrient with the letter K as its symbol. Greenbelt?
Potassium.
Yeah, more than a banana, but you don't have to peel a can of V8 juice. Good. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10 points.
For 10 points. Teams, if you go to Yellowstone National Park, there are a lot of alkaline hot springs and pools that have a 10 or 11 on this scale. Glenarden Woods.
pH?
pH, yes. Very caustic. Good. Red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, you know, earlier in this country's history, before there were a lot of legitimate doctors, there were a lot of quacks that went around the country and they sold something called snake oil that they said would cure just about anything. So in 1916, our government said enough of this, and they formed something called the FDA. Glenarden Woods.
Pastor Mercy.
The Federal Drug Association.
Good try. The FDA protects us from unlicensed doctors and bad drugs. What does the FDA stand for?
Federal Drug Administration.
Close. The Food and Drug Administration. Go again, red. 60 to 85. You're 25 points behind Malachi. You choose.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. Teams, a snowstorm where the winds blow at least 35 miles per hour. Greenbelt?
Blizzard.
A blizzard, that's right. Also, one of the neat things to order at Dairy Queen. They're really good. Go green.
Let's get physical for 25 points.
Let's get physical for 25 as a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, both teams. Stars twinkle because the atmosphere causes the light to do this before it reaches our eyes. Glenarden Woods.
Diffract.
Diffract. No. Good try. Greenbelt. The atmosphere causes the light to do what?
Refract.
Refract. Exactly right. Good. Go.
Body systems for 10 points.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if someone has the disease called shingles, you can't catch it from them. But if you have never had this childhood disease that leads to Glenarden Woods.
Measles.
Not measles. If you did not get this childhood disease that can turn into shingles in later life, you can catch it from somebody who does have shingles.
Chickenpox.
Chickenpox it is, yes indeed. Good, go. Nice try, Mercy, go.
Body systems for 20 points.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, if you have eczema or psoriasis, you would go to this kind of doctor. Glenarden Woods.
Dermatologist.
Yes indeed, dermatologist it is. Good, red.
Zupre for 25.
Zupre, 25 points, big one in that category. Teams, if you go to a farm, the barnyard where the hens are has a certain organization. It has a certain hierarchy. The top chicken, yes.
The pecking order.
The pecking order, that's what I was going for. Good answer, go.
Green things for 15.
Green things, 15 points. Teams, recently, California wildflowers bloomed like they haven't bloomed in decades because of all the rain that fell. Over all these years,
Pass it to Kai. Super bloom.
not super bloom. The super bloom did occur, Kai, because Glenarden Woods, all these years, these seeds lay what?
Dormant.
Dormant, that's it, good. Oh, the buzzer says that was a quick first round. Let's check that score. Glenarden Woods 120, Greenbelt 140. It is a nail biter of a finale. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to the Science Bowl finale. As we said at the top, it's come down to these two teams, the two Gs, Glenarden Woods and Greenbelt. Greenbelt has never won a county championship, and Glenarden Woods, in our 33-year history, has won 6 times, which ties them with University Park Elementary School with the most wins ever. Should they triumph today, they would be up there all by themselves as the winningest school. You know, just for making it to the semis and to the finals, for each of our players, we have an Audubon field guide in whatever topic might strike their fancy, whether they like birds or mammals or the night sky or rocks and minerals or insects and spiders. We hope that they take this book and treasure it throughout a lifetime of exploration as they go out into the woods and explore their world. And today's winning team, we have a plaque for their school, and each player and each alternate and coach takes home a plaque as well to memorialize their win as the 2018-19 Science Bowl champion. Let's go over and talk to each of our teams. You've been here a number of times this year. Malachi, what's the secret to the Glenarden Woods success? How do you prepare for this?
Well, during Science Bowl practice, we usually watch older videos and do questions from a book to help us get more science knowledge.
And that really helps, doesn't it? Because you're seeing and you're listening to me and the kinds of questions so you can anticipate things. Your school, as we said on an earlier program, was recently designated for the second time as a National Blue Ribbon School. And that occurs for very few schools, and they made a big deal, didn't they?
Yeah, we had a whole ceremony.
Yeah, a whole ceremony for that. And you're in a relatively new building. It was just opened about a year ago, and some of the parts you still recognize, and other parts you have a great open space that's now covered, and you have a place, it's like a studio, isn't it?
Yeah.
With lights, it's just beautiful over there. Who are your sponsors?
Miss Emerson and Miss Stewart.
Wonderful. They'll be out in just a few moments' time. And the first names of your alternates, if you would, Malachi.
Callista, Eli, Vanessa, Madeline. Yeah.
That's plenty. You remembered them all. You're just a great young man. You've got a great memory, and you're a great player. And someday you would like to be?
An astrophysicist.
Astrophysicist, yeah. And William, someday, you're also interested in the night sky, and you're interested in discovering things that we don't know anything about yet, yeah? Because, you know, when you think about it, we have not even scratched the surface. You think about the space station, it's up there a few miles, and then you think about the light years that are beyond that. It's like we've hardly gone anywhere, so there's a lot to discover. What do you like to do in your spare time, William?
Well, these days, just Science Bowl is mostly it.
Yeah, preparing for this, because, you know, this has been your focus. You know, you want to win this, and you got to prepare. And you guys, you finish each other's sentences. Mercy, we were talking about photographs before, and you like to photograph nature, you told me. Have you taken any pictures that you're especially proud of?
Yes, I have.
Tell us about those.
Well, one time I took a picture. My mom has a garden,
Yeah.
and I just went around and took pictures of all the flowers. And then for one of the roses, I used the hose and sprayed dew on it, and then it looked really pretty.
Wow. So you're an artist as well as a photographer. But photographers are artists. I think that's just beautiful. What do you like about the game, Mercy? Why do you come back and play?
I like how you never really lose, because even if you essentially lose the game, you still go away with lots of new knowledge and some new friends from the other teams.
That's beautiful. I couldn't have said that better myself. And that's true. You make connections, you network while you're here, and just the experience and being and representing your school. You're an ambassador, which means you're someone special. Greenbelt, nice to have you guys here. HYRUM, tell us the Greenbelt story. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Dr. Gaines.
Yes, indeed. And she is here today. And Miss Bolding, we forgot to mention her name. She's over there at Glenarden Woods, a fantastic principal over there. And the coach of your team is Mr. Richardson, correct?
Yes.
And I know he's here today. And alternate, Eleanor, you were the alternate, and John Kelly is now the alternate, right? He's in the other room watching over there. What is it about Greenbelt that you tell other people when they ask about your school, HYRUM?
Well, you're one of the only people who asked, but we have really nice teachers there. They help us learn.
And you seem a happy young man, and you're also a very literate young man. I know a career day made an impression on you, and you'd like to be a librarian, so words will be your life, and you are very good with words already. Eleanor, tell us the Eleanor story. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I like to draw and read, and
What do you like to read?
I like to read Harry Potter. And right now I'm reading Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
I also read Aragon.
Yeah, reading is so important, and youngsters like yourself who do well on Science Bowl are almost always readers. Welcome to the show. And Kai, tell us the Kai story. Someday you're going to be?
An engineer.
An engineer, yeah. And in your spare time, what do you do?
I like to play cricket and read.
Yeah, because you're a cricketer, and HYRUM is a cricketer. You're on the same, what's the name of the team?
Just Greenbelt.
Just the
cricket.
Greenbelt cricket
But
team?
then I also have another team, which is the travel team that goes all around
Very nice.
Maryland.
And John's on your team too, yeah? Okay. All right, let's get back into the game. 140 Greenbelt, 120 Glenarden Woods. Lots of points still to give away. Good luck. This is it. The final stretch. Go, Malachi.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points is a visual question. If you look at the monitor, please, this lettuce is growing in no soil, just liquid. So we call it what kind of lettuce? Greenbelt.
Hydroponic.
It is indeed hydroponic lettuce. Go.
Dateline science for 10 points.
Dayline for 10 points. Teams Malala, Jesse Owens, David Bowie, and other famous names have been assigned to these heavenly bodies. Malachi.
Constellations?
Not constellations. Greenbelt, these heavenly bodies that orbit between Mars and Jupiter have been given names like Malala, Jesse Owens, David Bowie. What might they be?
Asteroids.
They are indeed asteroids. Yes, sir. Go.
Dateline science for 15 points.
For 15 points, teams, creatures like the northern snakehead fish, the zebra mussel, and the kudzu weed that do not belong in this country but have spread are known as what kind of A? Glenarden Woods. What you want to tell me?
Amphids?
No. These creatures, these organisms that don't belong here but are spreading unchecked, we could call as what kind of A-initialed species?
What amphibian?
You got
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But like,
alien. Alien species because they don't belong. Try again, green.
Zoo parade for 10 points.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Teams, this feline was Glenarden Woods.
Leopard?
Not a leopard, no, Greenbelt. This feline was the title of a movie about the fictional kingdom of Wakanda.
Panther.
What kind of panther?
Black.
Black panther, that's it. Good, go green.
Zoo parade for 15 points.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, be careful. Don't jump in too soon. Because they can change colors to camouflage themselves, these cephalopods, Glenarden Woods.
Octopus?
Yeah, octopus. They call them the chameleons of the sea. Good, Malachi, go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, we know we measure latitude from the equator, which is 0 degrees. Greenbelt.
We measure longitude from the prime meridian.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Yes, sir. Good. Go.
Zoo parade for 20 points.
Zoo parade for 20. Teams, you will have to give me the answer and you have to spell it. Listen carefully. If an animal loses a limb, that is to regenerate something. But if a female brings food back and brings it up for her babies, Glenarden Woods.
The answer is regurgitate, and
Yes,
I would
sir.
like to pass it to Mercy.
Yes, Mercy.
Regurgitate. REGURGITATE.
If you put an I instead of an E, you would have gotten it. REGURGITATE, regurgitate. Okay, green still.
Science potpourri for 15 points.
Potpourri for 15. Teams, the seismic air guns that they are using to explore for gas and oil are disturbing the whales because the sounds are 120 Glenarden Woods.
Decibel.
Decibels, yes, and above. Good, go.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline, 20 points. Teams, this famous scientist did not believe in dumb luck. He said chance favors only the prepared. Glenarden Woods.
Einstein.
Not Einstein, good try. Greenbelt. Chance favors only the prepared mind. Don't count on dumb luck, said this famous scientist who came up with a vaccine for both rabies and anthrax. Who do you think? It's Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur. Try again, red.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri, 10 points. Teams, there was a legendary king of Denmark called Canute, and he went down and faced the ocean. He didn't try to stop the waves, but he tried to stop these that occur 2 times a day.
Tides.
Tides, good, go.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, I will need 2. I will need 2 answers here. Recently, doctors in South Africa used a 3D printer to make copies of these 3 smallest bones in your body. They are in your ear. Glenarden Woods.
Pastorium.
William?
ossicles?
I need specific names.
There's your stirrup, hammer, bone, and anvil.
You got it. Hammer, anvil, and stirrup. Good, go. Red.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline for 25 points. Teams, listen carefully to this. Sickle cell anemia, which is a terrible scourge, may be cured because they think they can attach a converted gene to the HIV virus. Greenbelt.
Infection?
No. Glenarden Woods, the HIV virus, that is something that we normally associate with what awful disease?
AIDS.
AIDS. That's it. Good. Go red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10. Let's look at that score. It's a tie. 2-10 all. This is green things for 10 points. Listen carefully, teams. Plants that require support, like ivy and grapes, grow on what kind of V?
Vines.
Vines. Yes, I heard it through the grapevine. Go red.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, this green thing is also known as an alligator pear and is very popular. An avocado, very popular on Super Bowl Sunday, indeed. Go. Again?
Super 8 for 5.
Super 8 for 5 points. Teams, the heroic dragon in How to Train Your Dragon.
Toothless?
Say it.
Toothless?
Toothless, yeah, he must be an edentate because that's what Hiccup called him. Go.
Let's get physical for 5 points.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Team Sinbad and his sailors in mythology sailed past this mountain and all, yes.
The Himalayas?
Not the Himalayas, Greenbelt. This mythical journey of Sinbad and his sailors, they went past a mountain and all the iron nails were pulled out of the ship and the ship sank because the mountain was a giant what?
Magnet.
Magnet, yeah, good. Go green.
Dateline science for 5 points.
Dateline science for 5 points. Teams recently in Alabama, on the Fujita scale, it registered an EF4. What kind of storm was it?
A hurricane.
No, sir. Glenarden Woods.
Tornado.
Tornado is right. Yes, go.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, we all know that STEM, big S, big T, big E, big M, is hot. Add this letter, A, and it's even hotter. Body system for 5 points. Last question in the game. Teams, if something is very, very expensive, you say it's going to cost you what to
An
think?
arm and a leg.
An arm and a leg is right, and it looks like by 5 points, Glenarden Woods is our winner. We'll double check that score and be right back with you. Well, a nail biter of a game here. We threw out the question about regurgitate. No points were deducted from anyone, so the final tally today, it is as close as it can be. Greenbelt is at 225. Glenarden Woods, what a comeback you made today. 230, congratulations. You are the new county champs. For the 7th time, William and Malachi and Mercy, you really earned this today. And all of those alternates back there, congratulations to all of you guys as well. Vanessa and Callista and Madeline, and who am I leaving out? Eli. Is Eli? I can't forget Eli. Miss Stewart, Miss Emerson, congratulations on another wonderful year. What a year you've had. 2 blue ribbons in a row, and now 7 Science Bowl championships. And the Greenbelt team had never made it this far. You played a super game. Ty and HYRUM and Eleanor and John, I know you're proud of these guys as well. Mr. Richardson, congratulations to you. Thanks for all you do. And Dr. Gaines, thanks for being part of this today. This means a lot having you here. It tells you guys how important you are and this game is. Thank you for joining us at the finale. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.